figure reviews, toy hunts, unboxing and rankings, unboxing and displays, etc. All right, YouTube. Welcome back to Trolls Toys. Another episode of Random Figure Review. Shambles. Lone Ranger just went toppling. And I believe we're in episode 15. All right, so we're going to start out representing Marvel Legends series at a $10 price point from Ollie's is Luke Cage Power Man. We've been long gaming this figure. I do like the way that it looks. Not big on Marvel. I already tapped out on the mindless one, built a figure and traded my parts away. So we'll just have a random one. But we want to get Luke Cage out of the package. Normally 6 figures from 6 different lines, but we got a 2-pack today, so you get a bonus figure. So we're going to have 7 figures from 6 different lines. We represent Marvel Legends is Luke Cage Power Man. Oh, and I should have said it, but price point for this episode is going to be $20 or less again, even though we got Luke Cage for $10. Because he's normally like a $25 figure, but we got him $10 at Ollie's. All right, and it says, having accidentally gained superhuman strength and bulletproof skin from a science experiment, Luke Cage becomes a hero for hire known as Power Man. And I am not super big on Marvel Legends or comics, right? I do read the G.I. Joe comic. I did pick up a Red Sonja and a Toxic Crusaders and Vampirella. So I picked up a couple recently. Haven't read anything other than G.I. Joe and some New 52. And now I'm in Shang-Chi graphic novel. But I just liked him because he sort of have a 70s vibe with the hairdo and the outfit. And he just sort of badass, a chain belt. I don't know. I just like this Luke Cage Power Man. That's why I was eyeballing it for so long, but just didn't want to pay full price. So the fact that we found him at Ollie's is cool. I normally am not a Fist of Fury guy, but I think Luke Cage is a Fist of Fury type of character. But he does come with these open, sort of sprawled out hands as well. But overall, basic Marvel Legends articulation, that is not my jam. I literally just get the figures out, look at them, sort of talk about what I like about them. And I love his hairdo, man. It's badass. And that jacket or shirt. It's just an overall great figure. All right, so figure number 1 was Luke Cage Power Man. Figure number 2, also coming in from Ollie's Black Series Holocom Collection, is going to be Osha. I can't even pronounce her last name. And it's Seiya. I never watched The Acolyte. I'm just a sucker for these Holocom figures and the glow-up light pucks. $9.99, but we had a 15% off coupon, so she was $8.50 at Ollie's. All right, so here she is. She comes with she's translucent. Obviously comes with a translucent backpack, translucent weapon, translucent tracker. And I assume this is a communicator of some sort. Like I said, I'm not familiar. Light puck, I don't have batteries in it yet, but we'll get her equipped. All right, obviously multiple gripes. I know this is not a popular line of figures. They always make their way to clearance. I like them for the light up light puck, which we're not going to illuminate now. But the foot pegs on the light pucks are a little bit too small for the figure, so they don't stay on there well. So I wind up just propping them against the wall on my shelf for my Han Solo and Ahsoka Tano and May Assassin and Darth Maul. But we got Osha as Holocom Collection representing the Black Series. All right, here's our 2-pack representing Indiana Jones Adventure Series. From Raiders of the Lost Ark, we have Marcus Brody and Renee Bullock, Ark Showdown version. Just 2 suited figures. I feel like the Indiana Jones line is not as successful as it could be because it's just not very toyetic. I know they're just basing them off of the movies, but most of the figures are fairly plain Jane. Hypnotized Indy's probably my favorite and or short round so far of ones that we've opened. But we'll get these guys out of the package and see what we're working with. All right, here we have Marcus Brody, played by Denholm Elliott, I believe is how you say it. And they showed him on the package coming with an apple, and I was disappointed, but he does have the apple. It's sort of way smaller than the apple that comes with Carlito from WWE. And I know there's a 1-inch figure difference. Pardon me, I'm just trying to get the apple in his hand. Shamble. But the apple quite small, right? But you know. And I believe, I haven't seen Raiders in the Lost Ark in forever. So it says he was Indiana Jones' sidekick, right? So I gotta believe it. And then we got Renee Bullock, who is the rival archaeologist from Indiana Jones in the Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I gotta say, I think I like this figure slightly better. I just like the suit better. Oh, he's got paper right here, though. Shambles. I guess that's for discoloration purposes. Can we get that off? I don't know. We're struggling mightily. And it says he was played by Paul Freeman. And like I said, I haven't seen the movie in forever. But he is the one that seems to have a trigger hand. I guess they came with a gun, so I'm assuming this goes with this guy. I had to double check and look, but I just like him. He's a little bit more badass because of the hat, and it came with this. Like I said, don't cancel me or kill me, but I haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark forever. I do own it. Got to go back and watch it. So we got the big book as well, but we got Marcus Brody and Renee Bullock. I think that's how you say it. Belloc. I don't know how the hell you even say his last name. Shambles. Tuffy just gave him the splash. He's like, don't fall into me, bitch. I will splash your ass. All right. So there's the 2 Indiana Jones figures. So now we're at 4 total. All right. Coming up next, representing Funko Savage World. To complete our collection, we got Michael Myers. He was the one he and Jason were the ones we were missing. We already had Freddy Krueger and Pinhead and Leatherface. I know these look kind of chintzy, but I think they're kind of fun. So we're going to get Michael Myers out of the package. All right, not big on Funko. I think these are the only Funko figures I own. I also have the Funko Savage World Blanca. But other than that, no pops for me. I had one G.I. Joe pop, but obviously I traded it away because it came in like a Funko pack that had like some other cool stuff. But I like these. I got to say the knives are too small for Mike's hands, so they just sort of slide down in there. They don't seat well. So that's unfortunate. Much like a WWE Superstar figure, in all honesty, they have very minimal articulation. At least the WWE Superstars have articulation. These are more like bell to bell from Ringside Collectibles is a good comparison. Or the old MOTU Origins figures, the vintage ones, they don't have much articulation. He's got way swivel, arms move, legs rotate, and that's about it. But visually, I just like the way that they look. Right? That is why I have acquired them. But like I said, he was the last one. Our Jason doesn't have any accessories, so we might steal an accessory from Pinhead or maybe one of these knives from Michael Myers to give to Jason. Jason's supposed to come with a sword and an axe, but we have neither, right? So that's okay. Representing WWE Elite Collection, we got Natalia, Natty Neidhart, right? So we got Dad, we got her Uncle Brett, right? So it says, living up to her family legacy, the Queen of Hearts proves night in and night out why she's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Career highlights: SmackDown Women's Champion and Divas Champion. So I didn't have Natalia represented in my collection, so that's why we picked her up. Now we'll get her out of the package. She does come with this cloth good shirt. This says paws out, claws out, which I can't say I recall. Gripping hands. Well, one gripping hand, one fist, because she comes equipped with one gripping hand, one fist. Rather basic figure, but I must be her younger days. I think she's she looks a little bit trimmer than she is today, but I also think that WWE sort of has done her dirty. I know she's getting a little bit older, but they basically just have her jobbing, and I'm not a big fan of that, right? She should be, I think she's a better in-ring talent than that, so they should certainly give her a little bit better bookings than they do. But we got Natalia, or Natty Neidhart, from WWE Elite Collection. That's figure number 6, and we normally stop there, but like I said, this is a 2-pack. So we got Luke Cage for 10, OSHA for 850. These two were 20 together. 20, and I probably paid a little bit more than I should for him, but he was just the last one that I needed. And our last figure that we're going to open up is going to be representing Masters of the Universe. Oh, I guess this is $25 or less. I didn't see that price tag, so we'll call this episode $25 or less. My bad. Shambles. We're going to do New Eternia Manny Faces from the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line. Here's Man-E Faces, and he's a couple years old from 2022, so he was a little bit stiff coming out of the pack. He comes with Fists of Fury as well, standard blaster. Right, I decided to go with the 7-inch He-Mans, even though they take up more room just for their articulation over the smaller ones. Right, and he comes with the traditional robot and sort of monster faces, but then, like a Game of Thrones type shit, Man of Many Faces, he gets 3 alternate ones that look like they peg in on a backpack on his back, so that's pretty damn cool. I don't know how you change them out. Right? I'm not going to futz with it right now. But yeah, they just plug in right here. So he's like some IS Stark type shit going on, right? So, 7-inch Masterverse. Damn it, shambles. Plug in backpack. I gotta say, I feel like for the first time closing that backpack, for it to already look like that, is a little bit of shambles. Maybe there's a cover on it that I'm missing. Nope, that's just what it looks like. Alright, I guess it is what it is. But Man-E Faces was one of my favorite when I was a younger tyke back in the day, and we actually just traded in our vintage Man-E Faces today. Today is Monday, November 3rd. You'll see this video tomorrow. I'm trying to get back on track. So we've got 7-inch Masterverse, New Eternia, Man-E Faces. And now, as always, we'll rank the figures from our least favorite to our favorite, understanding we like them all. All right, OSHA's definitely going to fall over. So I'm going to try to just slide her to the left. She's going to be last place. Right, I do like the holocoms, mostly because I can get them cheap and I can steal their light pucks. All right, we're going to split up the Indiana Jones guys because I'm going to go Marcus Brody next. He's just a little bit plainer than I'd like him to be. Right, just a suited character, but the great thing is we can use them, either of these, for anything that we want, basically. Shambles, Mike just fell over. So he's going to be 6th place. 5th place, we're going to go with Natalia, right? Once again, I thought the figure could be better. Happy to have her in our collection, though, so that is cool. 4th place, we're going to go with Renee Baluk from Indiana Jones, once again, just because he's fairly plain Jane. Right. 3rd place, even though I am super stoked to get him so that we can finish that set, I do like some of the other Savage World figures better than this Michael Myers. So he's going to finish in 3rd place out of this wave. And this is a $25 or less price point because of Man-E Faces, who I forgot about. So $8.50 on OSHA, 10, 20, 10, 20, right? Because the Indiana Jones were a 2-pack. And then that leaves only 2. That leaves Man-E Faces versus Luke Cage. And I think my 70s Luke Cage is going to finish in 2nd place. Damn, there goes Mike again. Shambles. All right, so 2nd place is going to be Luke Cage, which means our winner of this episode, and Luke Cage was $10, which means our winner of this episode is going to be Masters of the Universe, Man-E Faces. I like the addition of the 3 additional faces, like the fucking Game of Thrones type shit that the vintage figure didn't have. And I just think this figure is pretty kick-ass overall. So that's going to be Random Figure Review, episode 15. As always, this has been Trolls Toys. We truly appreciate you watching our videos, and we'll see you soon. Peace!